Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. For today's episode, we're going to be looking at the MSN-01 Psycommu system Zaku. So this is something that is familiar from Thunderbolt, but I don't think this is the actual Thunderbolt version, although I could be wrong. This is MSV, so this has to do with some of the things that were created back in the 80s. But anyway, let's get a look at it. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Check out the links in the description for the Discord, Patreon giveaways that are going on. But yeah, let's get started. And here we have it. Crazy shot here, right? This is what's even crazier about it. This is my jam right here. Look at all of these thruster parts. Now, these are exclusive thruster parts to this unit. They aren't the soft, gummy-like thrusters from other versions. These are kind of a hard plastic. It reminds me of what came with the Zeong, which is this is not that far removed from that. All right, here it is in its default form. A very neat mobile suit. You know, this is a very different sort of thing than we get with a lot of mobile suits because it kind of doesn't have legs, but it kind of does, and I'll get into that. But it's just very cool. Very cool looking thing, very Xeon. I love the real tight markings used on this. It's got this antenna up here that pops off very easily. Obviously, that is so things don't break, but it makes it easy to lose. But can I really complain? It comes with an additional one just in case, so, you know, thanks for that. Oh, but with the head, yeah, it comes off like you saw there, and you can turn the eye in it. It's just kind of hard to do. You got to hold the head steady when you do that. But, you know, as for the head, the articulation, you can pull it up, and I'm trying not to pull off the top of the head. You can get some range on it. It's just kind of hard to manipulate. You got to watch out for taking off the antenna and the top of the head. But, yeah, it's got the range that you could possibly want, but I'm trying to get it to, like, look like it's flying. But that's where this comes in. At the waist. That is what can give it that kind of flying look because the head does not go up that high. It even looks forward like a whole ton, so it's got the range. I mean, even to the point where it just looks kind of silly in the middle right there, and it's got its swivel. So yeah, you can really get a good look at that articulation in there. As for the arms, shoulders move up quite a bit, even to the point where the head gets in the way. Yeah, full rotation there, full rotation here. Elbow, let's see. Yeah, I mean, as much as you need in the elbow. And then even, oh, that comes off. Yeah, that's the thing that happens every once in a while. It's not a big deal. But this piece is for something I'll show here in a bit. And sometimes it'll come off easily when you don't mean to. But even the fingers here are articulated, which is pretty nice. I kind of like that little feature there. And there is movement in the hands, but they come off to switch hands, and I'll show that here in a bit. All right, getting down to the legs. So these tend to pop in and out. I don't know if you can hear that. And then there's this connector here to pop it in. This is so it's just like one piece, and it obviously has the landing gear down there, which is pretty cool because of all the thrusters. But even the landing gear can be moved. I guess they go like that, or yeah, to not get in the way of the thrusters. And then when you move the legs apart, it has a piece here that comes off. It's like another landing gear. So maybe the idea is as it launches, this like comes off or something. Not too sure. But you can pop the legs down and you can get some articulation there. Even the knees, there's movement there. So it's almost like this thing does have legs. I just don't think it would be walking. Could it be skating around? That's a good thing. But I think it's mainly used in space as far as we know. So yeah, that's about it for the articulation. It's nothing crazy, but it's just right for this sort of thing. I almost missed out. But yeah, the thrusters also do move, all of them. So that's really, if you think about it, that's a lot of points of articulation between fingers and thrusters. All right, let's look at the manual here real quick. Yeah, talking about taking off the head, the antenna that's replaced, how to move the head, and it's showing that it moves up a little bit. And I don't know if I got it to do that. Let's see. Ah, there we go. If you apply enough pressure, enough force, you actually can get the head to go up. So I'm glad I looked at that. Yeah, very good. Yeah, they're showing where the landing gear plugs in on either side. Let's see. Oh, showing where I guess you can move forward the. Okay, so I'm learning a whole lot by looking at the manual. I love doing that live, don't you? But not only does this drop down, but there's the knee bend, but that actually drops down as well. You can kind of hear that noise. So when you want it to be, I guess, all flat and on the surface, you can like click everything into place. The only thing I didn't really fully understand is with the leg here, it has that arrow. It's like here's it like this, and then over here, if you push it forward, okay, I can kind of get that now. I didn't get it at first. So that's some very interesting stuff going on. So there's a forward, a back, a down, an up, and on the knee, a down and an up. That's interesting. So it's almost like you get it into position. Maybe because it's pulled forward, you can go back more, and then you pull that down, and that just allows it to go back more. The head goes up. Yeah, maybe that's what it's trying to do. So that's pretty cool to see the range you can give it to allow it to be a little more dynamic. Okay, this is showing that this shoulder swings forward, and that is actually the abdomen. We see that sometimes, and it's a little, not a lot. I wonder if they just add that in as part of the engineering of building it, and so it's just some extra articulation, because it's not like that really does too much, but hey, at least it's there. All right, and then the stand, it's really cool that it already comes with a plug for a stand, but then you can also use a stand adapter. Okay, that's if you want it to probably give it a little more of a dynamic pose, because the legs being put together with the landing gear might make that get in the way. And with the arms, you can take off a bottom piece here. That's so you can put a stand there, because you can plug in the wire extension, the wire to have the hand go flying out. And then with the hand, here's all the lasers, and those have different sizes. So that's something you have to, keep in mind. In fact, I just keep it on so I don't have to worry about it, because the hand that's on has those articulated fingers. And while these are too, these have the plugs. And just so I don't mix them up, I just keep them plugged in. And then the thrusters, there's a whole bunch of different thrusters. Yeah, between the laser hands and the thrusters, it's like a puzzle. It's almost like a Gunpla, how you have to build it up. And then it's showing, which is a pretty good idea for the option parts to add that there. And then, it's saying the thrusters there must be articulated in a way. So, when it comes with the thrusters, you can have it kind of divided up to where there's like 8 that are the big ones that go on the bottom. And again, these are plasticky. These aren't kind of that rubbery like substance that some of them are made out of. And then there's these 5 smaller ones. Now these go like all on this kind of section here on the back. And then there's these 2 tiny ones here, and they actually go right here at the bottom. It was very interesting the other day. So I have that plugged in, and I hit it. Right, I hit it off, and look how it came off. It came off like this. And at first I thought I broke something, because, it looked like those articulated thrusters that have the peg, and I just didn't remember what it looked like. And then I went back, was like, oh, I can plug that back in. So with the articulated thruster, there's more of a chance that you're going to pop off the entire thing and not break the peg, which I appreciate, because I have a couple very anime with effect pieces that the pegs have actually broke off. But it could be with these bigger ones. Let's see. If I'm to move that, like the thruster moves luckily, but I could see myself maybe breaking the peg off. I might need to be careful there. Or it could be that it does actually just pop off. All right, and we saw this earlier, but you can just like pull off the bicep there. And underneath, here's a spot we're going to take off shortly. I'm going to plug this wire in here. And then in here, there's actually a circle, and I can't get anything to focus. And then there's actually the little peg in there. So then this plugs into here. So to take this bottom part off, can I just use my nails and do it easily? Yes, I can. Wow, that's great. All right, and then I'll plug that in. So while this isn't like accurate because of it flying, I'd have that on another stand. Just use this as an example. Here is the hand, so it can like fly out and do its things. But you can actually take off the hand itself. Well, I got to say, this is like the hardest part. I feel like I'm going to break it. And did I even? Yeah. Okay. So it even comes with the little piece when you take it off, so that you'll see that this has it as well. All right, a little challenging to get on, but as you can see, you can have some awesome recreations of anything you saw in Thunderbolt, or do whatever. Have the lasers, shooting out. I mean, that looks very cool. All right, I actually put the option parts on. It's really hard to get a good look at this, but that looks sick with all the thrusters there. I'm gonna do a quick pose with the finger guns. Okay, so trying to get a pose here, like look at it on the stand with all the thrusters. This is insane, right? I'm trying to get something though where I can get all the thrusters to work together and it not like hit the ground or. So I would say this does require tuning, and as much as it's easier with action figures than it is with Gunpla because you don't have to build anything. There is still setup with this. I mean, and this looks awesome, but you do have to manage the thrusters just right for it to work. But let me finish up this real quick. All right, it's really hard to convey on the camera what this is capable of, but it's actually really cool to see. Man, this thing is a like a centerpiece to have somewhere. Once you're able to get the pose you want, because you would have to fiddle with this a bit, and you would probably have to have a wider range than I'm using here. Man, you can get some cool stuff out of this, especially like a battle scene, add some effect parts. Yeah, this thing is awesome. Well, there you have it. That was the Psycommu system Zaku. An excellent entry in the Robot Spirits line, especially getting something so unique. It's not like a standard GM or Gunpla or Gundam or something. It's just a cool like a Xeon unit, and it's something we see in Thunderbolt. And I still haven't really exactly looked up if it's supposed to be the same thing or not, because I think it has a different name in Thunderbolt. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please check the links in the description and give it a like if you thought this was cool. But we'll talk later.